All right, in this training, we're going to go over speaking strategies that will reduce nervousness and make your audience interested and remember your presentation. The most important thing about presentation is does your prospect, or maybe does your downline who attends the training, do they remember it? So I'm going to give you some advanced speaking strategies and tips. Okay, so the first part is, if you want to be a good speaker, presenter, this pre-presentation prep is very important. Before the presentation, a lot of work has to be done. Okay, and we're right now talking about giving a group presentation, or even that applies to a three-way call or like a smaller presentation. So pre-presentation. Okay, so the first thing is you have to practice, right? This is how you practice. Don't just practice speaking to yourself. Get practice, especially speaking in front of a group. Because how many of you have done group presentations, or you plan to do group presentations? How many speak in front of a group? Okay, so this tip will immediately help you out. So a lot of you do already. So practice eye contact. Eye contact, extremely important. So Amy, this would be very helpful for you. I know you're doing a leadership training soon, right? So practice eye contact, and don't expect so your practice should be like exactly the same, as close as possible as the real thing. Okay, so you want to practice giving eye contact. Now, at home, it's kind of difficult sometimes, because on the group, you're speaking to a group of people. At home, it's probably you or just you and your family. So how can you practice? So I share a tip with you, and don't laugh. Okay, I practiced with teddy bears. Okay, my wife at that time had these gun spanky teddy bears. She had a whole bunch of them. I'll place them throughout the room, okay, in the living room and in different spots. And I'll practice speaking to each of one of those teddy bears. Now, the teddy bears, I don't have like 50 teddy bears, okay? I have like 5 or 6, but I'll space them out. And if you don't have enough teddy bears, you can use chairs or use a clock and pretend they're people. And the point is, when you're presenting, practice giving eye contact. So I'll look here to one teddy bear, I'll speak. And the key is to spend a couple moments. It could be 10, 20 seconds speaking to one bear, spend 10, 20 seconds looking at the other way. Then I'll look at the clock in the back, right? You space them out. The key is to practice getting used to giving good eye contact to a specific object. Obviously, you should be a human, but here we don't have live humans. You use teddy bears or clocks. Okay, it's extremely helpful. How many of you actually been to a presentation where you see the speaker is only looking in one direction? Right? Have you ever been like a person who's maybe not such a good speaker, love in one direction? Right? It's so boring. It's so bad, right? Or they're looking down, or they're looking one way and they talk to one side of the room but forget about the other side, like it doesn't exist, right? You immediately turn off people. This will guarantee you give good eye contact, right? So practice eye contact, and by use teddy bears. Okay, I'm actually going to type up in these notes: teddy bears or any other object, right? You can use like clocks, a chair, all right? And so these, okay, will be your quote-unquote friendly faces. So what do I mean by friendly faces? How many of you are just speak in a group and some people are bored, some people are not paying attention, but 1 or 2 people are really into it? All right? If you look at the people who are bored and not into it, what's going to happen? You're going to get discouraged, right? Everyone's like, oh my goodness, these people they're not even paying attention. What I'm going to do? So you train yourself to not even look at those people. You look at only those teddy bears, but you give those teddy bears a good paying attention. Now, here's the secret. When you are talking to like that teddy bear, just say I'm looking far away, even though you're only targeting one person, right? Everyone around there think that you are talking to them. That's the secret. No one realizes it. So that is the secret there. You got that? Okay, so if I'm looking in this way, I may be focusing on one person, but everyone in that group around that area think that I'm talking to them. So that's why you really need only take 5, maybe 10, depending how big the room. Pick 5, 10 people. If you're going to just say when you first get on the stage, you're doing a presentation, not everyone's interested, but some people may be really smiling. Choose your winners, your friendly faces. And when you're talking to them, choose a friendly face on the right side, in the back, in the front, in the left, and you keep going back and forth and talking to those people. All right? That's your big tip there. Most people don't do that. Now, a question is, a question from Amy, you have 2 of your downlines to stay with you. Can you practice with them? I actually don't. Of course, you can practice with them, right? But you're gonna bore them to death. It's better right here. We're not practicing for your delivery. We're just practicing your eye contact. All right. So I would actually recommend the first couple of times you practice, don't practice with them because they'll give you feedback. You worry about what they think, and it's not as effective. Practice a couple of times, just talking, just talking, and using your eye contact. All right. So that comes to practice parts. And now, if you really want to go do it, you can practice in front of a mirror and stare at yourself. Okay, that is one of the hardest things to do, but it will get you good really fast. Now, see if you can practice in front of a mirror, stare at your own eyeballs. Right, the first time I did that, I was like, oh my goodness, this seems so weird. But you do a few times, you get used to it. Right, you get good at it. Because nothing is colder or weirder than you staring at yourself. But once you get used to that, then all the other stuff will be much easier. All right, the other part is pre-preparation. Is the intro is extremely, extremely important. Whoever's introducing you has to do a good job. You have to make sure you are properly introduced and edified. You're properly introduced. If you're not properly introduced, you start off with like half empty of gas. You can't go full steam already. You're like, right? Nothing fires me up than having a good intro. Right? You got to get a good intro. If you want, play some music. If you are going to speak, I always like to play music when I am introduced. It fires me up. It fires me up. I can give a better presentation. So make sure you get introduced. Now, how should you be introduced? This is the method I learned. Okay, so it is called, I actually learned this from Big Al Schreider, who taught me this. Okay, awesome trainer, Big Al, is tip. Okay, tip stands for T is the topic that will be discussed. Okay, so if I'm doing a training, just say Jennifer's doing a training on nutritional supplementation, why it's important. So today we're going to talk about nutrition supplementation because it's a very important part. A lot of people, we're busy, we're gaining weight, we eat all types of food. Most people are not getting the nutrition they need. Okay, I kind of skipped into that, was the importance of topic. So I could say why nutrition is important. We're eating more and more, but we're not getting calories. Such as people, we're eating empty calories. The food that even the vegetables, the fruits growing our soils are depleted. We're not getting the full nutrients. And so how do you know whether you're eating a healthy diet or not? Okay, so that's the I, the importance. P is the importance. Oh, is the person. Why is this person qualified? So why is this person qualified? Jennifer has been helping people with nutritional supplementation for lots of experience for many, many years. She has a background in science. She actually helped out people with customers. She herself was eating poorly before, and then she changed her diet, made some miraculous changes. She got a lot healthier, and now she's helping people do the same. All right, so that's how you introduce TIP, tip. Now, to add to this, if you ever feel that you're not getting a good audience to an event, good attendance to an event, it's because you haven't promoted well enough. All leaders are promoters. Okay? All leaders are promoters. Now, how long should the introduction be? As long as people don't get bored, right? I make a minute and a half. It really depends, but it's got to be interesting. The topic, why is it important, and why is the person qualified? And of course, the person who's introducing has got to have high energy. All right? All right, let's move on. So you have the intro. All right, you have to practice the intro. The next part you have to work on is the mindset. Your mindset. Your inner game, what I call the inner game. Don't see yourself as a speaker or trainer. Okay, you know what you should see yourself as? This is like the secret for me in terms of me. Exactly like an entertainer. All right, you must keep the audience entertained. Now you may say, well, this is a business presentation. This is a training. Why do you need to be entertained? Because Everything is your competition. Every distraction is your competition. So don't forget, every distraction is your competition. Your prospects or your downline's mobile phone is your competition. They can be checking the Facebook feed. They may be checking incoming message, notification. Everything's your competition, competing against your time. Exactly, Andy. The same thing with your webinar, right? You're entertaining, got to be interesting. So this thing is the same thing with a webinar. Besides from the icon, with icon, it's actually also, you got to look at the person in the camera. Be used to talking to you like the way I'm talking to the camera right now, right? It's looking at you. You got to be entertaining, got to keep it fun. Now, we obviously got to keep the audience engaged, right, throughout. But you have to understand too, while you're preparing, the mindset is that your audience has like a BS meter. What do you call a BS meter? BS meter means, how many of you guys, you've attended a presentation, you're just skeptical already? You're like, no, I'm not going to buy anything. They try to sell me. I don't believe a word they're saying, right? I don't believe it. They're trying to sell me here. So you think that way. Your prospects think that way. Okay, your prospects think that way. Now, here's the thing. When they walk into the room, they're like, I don't believe what Dean is saying. He's lying to me. This is full of it. I bet you he doesn't make any money. I don't believe this industry works. Most people, they're like in a trance. They're like in trance. They're like walking there. They don't even believe. They're not even paying attention. They go in there, no matter what you say, no matter how convincing the testimonies are, it's going 1 year in, 1 year out. So they're like, oh, and this is, I'm giving you a NLP, neuro-linguistic programming technique here. They're like in a trance. So how do you kind of shake them up in the trance? You know, like someone's hypnotized. They're like, whatever you do, they're hypnotized, right? So how do you wake these people up? You throw cold water at them, right? You throw cold water. Sometimes you talk to someone in a trance, they're still like, oh, they're like hypnotized. Think of it, someone's hypnotized, right? So you basically, to wake up people from hypnotized, you take a bucket of cold water, throw it at them, splashes them, and that wakes them up, right? So in order to get people out of this trance, you have to shock them. Okay? Shock them, make them laugh, do something. So you have to wake them up. So your audience has a BS meter and is in a trance. You have to shock them to get them out of it. As long as they're in this trance, they'll be like, "Oh, this is BS. I don't believe it. I'm not going to be sold. I'm not going to be sold tonight. I'm not going to buy or join anything." They're saying that to their heads. This is not real. I don't believe it. This doesn't work. My friend did it. My mom did it. This doesn't work. So you got to shock them, surprise them, make them laugh, do something crazy, change things up, show a video, call them out, do something different. All right? Whatever it takes, you have to shock them, get them engaged. Although if they just sit there, the whole presentation, they're just not going to do anything. So I did some of you have seen me present before. Like one time I took off my shirt, took off my tie, right? Just to shock people. And all of a sudden people start paying attention. So you do like weird things, whatever. Be too self-conscious. You can do crazy things, call people out, play some music, dance, right? Do something, shocks people, and people breaks them up. So how can you shock people on a webinar? You can call them. Hey, Andy, what's going on? Right? So what are you doing here right now? Shock them. I just called you up. Everyone, look at Andy. Andy, are you too scared? You're not putting yourself on a webinar, webcam? Show yourself right now. You call them out. He's like, wake it up. He's paying attention, right? Or someone here, let's see, if I'm looking at a webinar right now, someone who's not participating, I call them. Hold on one second. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. Something happened here. So, okay. So, like for example, who has Nancy? I call it Nancy. What's going on? Are you paying attention? I just see if Nancy's there, right? Call her out. Well, maybe she's not there. Maybe she is. If she is there, she might type something. So I guess Nancy is not there. Or maybe she is in a trance. She fell asleep. But anyway, on this webinar here, you call people out. That's when, oh, see, Nancy's here. So I know she's there, right? She's paying attention. So again, people pay attention, or people that use in the restroom, all type of things like that. So that's one thing you can do, Andy. Okay, on a webinar, you call people out, or tell funny jokes, or you ask them a quiz. Quiz people, or keeps them on the toes. So Beta, you asked the question that this is for group presentations, but you can do this for one-on-one presentations as well. When people are there, you're an entertainer, right? They have other things to do. Everyone is so busy right now. Okay, so busy right now, and they have other distractions to do. Okay, so you got to shock them. All right, the next thing is before the presentation, do people buy from people they like or don't like? Right? People buy from people who you like. They're always buying you. So you got to get the audience to like you. So how do you get the audience to like you? How do you get audience? People like people who have things in common, right? Commonality. You always want to establish things in common. So if I was meeting Jennifer, I knew Jennifer was something in Long Beach. I'll talk about something about Long Beach. If I knew Donna's from Sherman Oaks, I'll talk about how I drive through Sherman Oaks. I stopped by there to eat once with my parents and my kids at the Habit off the street. I'll name some streets just to bring something in common, that we have something in common. Anything. It could be hobbies or schools, sports, right? People like people who have in common something they. So you want to establish commonality, something in common before the presentation starts. So how can you do this? You can greet the guests and get to know them. Find out something they like to do. So greet the guests and establish things in common before presentation starts. So, for example, if I knew that Donna was from Sherman Oaks, maybe I can work Sherman Oaks into my presentation. I can talk about that. Right? If I knew Jennifer was in Long Beach, want to share my story, I can talk about Long Beach. Right? You can find different ways. So you meet people and find something. The easiest thing to do is talk about where they're from. Right? Especially if you're visiting a city, just say like if you're visiting Dean, you're in Sydney, you're visiting Perth. Do you have like a memory about Perth you want to share? Because everyone's kind of proud to be where they're from, right? So you would say, oh, when I was Perth last time, I ran by the harbor. It was beautiful. I ran to, you start naming places, landmarks and stuff, and then people felt, wow. It's like the same thing when you meet someone from a different culture, and they actually could be totally different ethnicity, and they actually share something that they know about your culture, they respect and know something about your culture. You feel good, right? So that's another thing. So if you're ever visiting, speaking to a different city, different group, acknowledge that culture, acknowledge that city. Fine. And that's something very easy to do. Like if I was going to Sydney, I could just research something about Sydney, look it up, look at a couple of things, and I can share something about it. Now, if you've been there before, that's even easier. If you have never been there, just look at what's in common, right? Maybe there's something, if I was going to Sherman Oaks, I'll look at what's popular in Sherman Oaks, what's going on there. Maybe I could work into my presentation. Again, you're getting people to like you. And when they like you, increases the chance of people paying attention to you. Does that make sense? Okay. Our question is, would a raffle giveaway be appropriate for bringing excitement? Not necessarily a raffle giveaway. Raffle, how many of you actually been excited about raffle? How many of you here have ever been excited about raffle? 50-50. Not me. Not really. So there are people who are excited for raffle, but as a kid, yes, as a kid, I was very excited about raffles, right? The thing with raffles is most of the people who want to win raffles, what type of mentality do they have? What type of mentality do they have? It is a great way to collect contacts, but you're going to give a group presentation, right? You're going to collect all the contact anyway. It's kind of like the lottery mentality, all by chance. I hope I get lucky, I can win this. Right? It's like the wrong type of people, really. You got to get lucky, the lucky mentality. So if you're doing a meeting, right, Jennifer, you can get the names before. You can have everyone sign in, so you can get the contact information anyway. Okay, you have a sign-in sheet. Now, I've seen raffles done at events, but normally I actually don't think it's worth it. Okay, it's like you said, the mindset. Most of you probably won't get too excited about a raffle, right? I mean, I don't. So, okay, so the audience, you got to get people to like you. So different ways to establish commonality. Now, the next one is there's 4 tensions in the room. Speaking about getting people to like you, there are 4 tensions. So there's 4 types of tensions. The first tension, okay, is the tension among the audience. Right? How many of you actually been to a meeting and you sat there? You kind of like, you don't know who the guy person sitting next to you is. You have, right? How many of you been that way? Right? Especially you, those who are more introverted, quiet. You're like, who's this person next to me? There's tension among the audience already. Right? Tension. So how do you remove this tension? So let me ask you, if this tension is not removed, do you think the person can pay really good attention to your presentation? They can't, right? Well, they still could, but it makes it harder because they worry about this person. What are they going to think about me? What is this person next to me, right? So one way is, a very simple way, is you can reduce this tension by getting them to introduce each other. Okay, get audience to introduce. Get the audience to introduce each other. So hey, hi everyone, just shake it. Take 1 minute and just say hi to the person on the left, hi person to the right. Let them know where you're from. But get them to start talking a little. Have a quick conversation. At least the person shake the hand, talk to the person. The tension's a little less, right? Like a little icebreaker. Okay. Number 2 is tension between audience and you. The tension between you and the speaker and the audience. Right? Like, who the heck are you? I mean, think about this. Have you, when you spoke, if some of you have spoken in front of groups, there's some tension between the audience. You don't know how they're going to smile. You don't know if they like you. They don't know if they're going to walk out. You don't know if they will boo you, boo birds, right? They don't know if they're going to fall asleep in the presentation. There's a lot of tension, right? Think about all the things that adds to nervousness, right? Now, if you are the audience there, you're sitting there, you may feel like this tension. So, Dave, you said that you had someone fall asleep before, right? We all do. If you haven't had anyone fall asleep on your presentations, you haven't presented enough yet. So it happens to all of us. So there's tension. So how do you remove this tension? You reduce it really by what I talked about last night before the presentation starts. Right? Greet guests beforehand is really the prep work. The prep work. Also, during the presentation, make sure you smile and build commonality. Okay, we talked about this before. Like if I was going to Sydney, I'll talk about some things in Sydney so I can relate to them. If I went to Mexico and I don't have much to say about Mexico, I know, hey, I have a friend, Bea. She's in Mexico City. I'll start talking about my friend, right? Something in common. Okay? So during the presentation, you want to smile, build things in common. If I found out something about like Bea's from Mexico, maybe I have a story about Mexico City, I'll talk about it. So refer. Okay, so that's how you reduce that tension. Third tension between the audience and the materials. What do you mean by materials? Handouts. Handouts, like something you give out there. Application form. Oh, what am I supposed to do with this form? Or you give out a book. Oh, what is this book? Or you give out samples. What is this type of stuff? How long should I be looking at this? Do I keep reading it? Do I have to pass it to someone? Did everyone get a chance to look at this? Right? These are all things that you think about. So all these are distractions. Okay? And you really want to limit handouts and distractions. When is the best to give out handouts? Here's a rule. If your mouth is moving, everyone should be looking at you. So you plan to talk. You shouldn't be giving out a handout. Okay, you want the person to be paying attention to you. Handouts are really like a crutch. It's just like, the training we did about PowerPoints, advanced PowerPoints. Okay, like PowerPoints, you want to limit them. Okay, so limit handouts and distractions. Okay, the next one is tension. What's the last tension that we're missing? Anyone have an idea? The tension between the audience and the environment. Environment. So our environment could be time, it could be the chairs. So you want to make things comfortable. Make sure things are comfortable. So what I mean by that, for example, the temperature of the room, the lighting, right? The lighting can even see you. If the lighting's bad, it can't see you. That means, by the way, that's also another tension, you and the audience. If things are hot, then they can't focus. If things are like too cold, they can't focus. So the environment, if it's loud and noisy next door, they can't focus. It's tension. So these are things that are all distractions. All right. Okay. Moving on. So that was the prep work. Okay, the prep work. Now you have a comment here: the colors or the location of the speaker at door. Yeah, those are tensions. Yeah, if if you're in a room that's all black, I mean, of course that's not going to be causing tension. If you are right by the door and people keep walking in and out by the entrance, and people see people walking in and out, that creates tension, right? So you want to eliminate those. So let me just review really quickly. Pre-presentation prep. You want to practice. You want to do the intro, properly introduce someone. Mindset, right? You want to be an entertainer. You want to shock them, and you want to get the audience to like you. And you want to remove the 4 tensions: tension among the audience, tension between audience and you, tension between audience and the materials, and tension between audience and the environment. Now, what actually happens? Oh, notice we all did all that. We covered all that. That's the pre-work. If you actually do that well, the presentation actually becomes way, way easier. Okay, most of the work is done before the presentation. So here are a couple of rules. You never use a podium. Never use a podium. Okay, even if you're the best speaker, a podium brings back people's bad memories of professors, boring professors. Like, who uses podiums? Professors. Brings up bad memories. So don't use a podium. It's also a crutch, too. Another thing to do, you can walk around the room to break up tension. And this, again, keeps them out of the trance. You walk out around the room, break up the tension, keeps people on their toes. Another tip is find your allies, your friendly faces. We talked about that. Your friendly face. There are people out there who want you to do well. They're smiling. Maybe if you're doing a training, they're like your good distributors. They're excited to learn. Your prospects, they're really excited prospects. Find them, and those are the ones you give eye contact to. Don't be looking at the person who's defensive, closed-minded, folding their hands. Right? So you want to find your allies. So remember, the eye contact should always go from different sections of a room. And each section should have 1 to 2 friendly faces. Each section of a room should have 1 to 2 friendly faces. Right? The easy way to, if you look at a room, it can be 4 parts: left, middle right, right. Pick 1 or 2 friendly faces there, one in the front, one in the back, and just take turns looking at those people, same people. And to the audience, it looks like you're looking at everyone. All right. Now, the next one is you want to use, you constantly engage the audience and change things up. Okay. Constantly engage the audience and change things up, because the audience has less than 5 minutes attention span. So less than 5 minutes, they get bored. That's why every 5 minutes something has to change. You got to do something different. You got to show a video. You got to ask a question. It cannot be just you speaking for more than 5 minutes. Something's got to change. So even if you're doing a one-on-one, this applies. You're talking, maybe show a video. Talking, show a sample. Showing something different. Something's got to keep changing. If you're just presenting and talking, people will fall asleep. To make the presentation more powerful, you want to use stories and testimonials to deliver key points and answer objections. That's the best way to answer objections is with stories. So someone has no time, share a story of someone that had no time and still made the business happen. Still very successful. Someone has no money, share a story of someone who had no money but still was able to get started. They use stories. Practice your stories. If you want to get good, the story should be actually always somehow related to the people that you're speaking to. That makes it more powerful because that means you can relate to the audience. Here's another advanced technique for stories. You want to introduce a hero and a villain. Right? All good stories have good guys and bad guys. Can you think of a movie, a good movie? I mean, aside from maybe a comedy, whatever, or a love story, have a good guy and a bad guy. Okay, good guy, bad guy in your stories. So how does right all the superheroes like Dark Knight, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Avengers, they all have good guys and bad guys. Even like Godfather, Star Wars, those good guys and bad guys. Murder mysteries, right? All good guys and bad guys. So hero and villain. So for example, if you're doing like your company's a health, right? A good guy could be the hero, could be someone who, wanted to be healthy. It has a happy ending, lost a lot of weight, become healthy with the products. The villain could be someone, the bad guy could be someone that didn't care about their health and then got really unhealthy and then the family had to suffer for it. Okay, the good guy could be you working, the distributors. The bad guy could be the boss. That's in MLM, that's a very common, the good guy and bad guy. The good distributors, the bad guys are the boss. Right? Good guys are the distributors. Bad guys are corporations. Good guys could be entrepreneurs. Bad guys are like the government, keeps taxing people. So good guys or network marketing is good guy because you have tax breaks. Bad guys, the government who increases our taxes. People like to tend to think good guys and bad guys. So you want to create like at the end they want to join the good guy. They want to be part of the good guys. It's almost like, and this is like an NLP thing. Sure, like if you don't join, you're gonna be one of the bad guys. So good guy could be you do network marketing, you have more time, you can be a stay-at-home parent, more time with your kids. A bad guy, not necessarily bad, but it's like the person you don't want to be end up like could be the person who thought it'd be job secure and works at a corporation, didn't start a business, and later on, 10 years later, they have kids now, the kid's a baby, and you got laid off. Or they're still working, stuck at a job, can't have time with the kids. That's the bad guy. So what do you want to be? You want to be like the good guy or the bad guy? You see how this works? Okay, give you a couple examples here. So you can when you in stories, you can introduce things like this, like especially if you know real life people. Very effective. Good guys could be people who take the supplements. Bad guys are like they don't believe in supplements and they die early, right? Or they get unhealthy. Good guys and bad guys. And think about it. You want to tell a story? Just every movie has good guys, bad guys. All right, here's a big tip here. The next one. Talk about stories. So Shabay has a comment. Just love your trainings. I know I'm learning and starting to show more and more in my results. Okay, thank you, Bear. Thank you for sharing. And Sharon, it's good that it's helpful. You're presenting on Thursday. So think about these stories. This is really the difference between really good advanced storyteller and someone who's just learning to present through slides. Okay, telling stories. Okay, when you're telling a story, focus on the challenges and struggles instead of the successes. Okay, when you're telling stories, focus on the challenges and struggles instead of the successes. Because why? Because audience relates to struggles more. The audience relates to struggles way more. Now, So a lot of times we show like, oh, this person is was struggling. Now he's got a nice house, nice Ferrari, or everything. Right? Most people don't understand that. Again, the BS meter, they don't believe it anyway. Share more about the challenges and struggles because that's what they can relate to. Now, even if you're using someone else's story, share about the challenges and struggles. If you're okay, so share about, say you're using someone else. This guy was a carpenter, hurt his back, he can't work anymore. Share about those struggles. Go into detail about the struggles because your prospect relates to the struggles more. Health issues, right? If you're talking about weight loss, share about the struggles before you lost the weight or the struggles and frustrations. Those are the things your prospect can relate more. Don't just say, oh, I lost like 30 pounds, 50 pounds. I look great. Your prospect can't relate to that. Right? It's good to hear that, but they can't relate to that. They're not there. They relate to your struggles and challenges. So emphasize those more, give more details. It's a comment from Jason. You say it's like a movie. It's exactly like a movie, right? Because every movie is a struggle, and we always want to be like the good guy. But we always like the good guy, want to end up like the good guy. And the good guy always go through the struggle. And there's a great book. It's a really long book called The Hero's Journey. Very famous book called The Hero's Journey that outlines the exact thing of how to tell the story for a hero. All right. Next tip is if you're speaking. Okay, your question is, does this apply to webinars? Yes, it applies to every story. Every story. Okay, Maria. So if you are sharing a testimonial of someone in your company very successful, edify them, promote them, right? And share the story. Talk about their challenges more. People buy stories. Remember, facts tell, but stories sell. It's all about stories. When you tell stories, share your darkest moments. Okay? When you tell a story, share your darkest moments, open up. Because why? That shows that you trust them. So say you have something you don't like normally share. You share with them. Or you have like a health challenge, share weight loss, or share with them. Because if you openly share with them, that means why would you share something personal like that to me? Because you trust me, right? If you trust me, then how would I feel? I'll probably, you share something, wow, I can't believe you share that with me. I feel that, well, I should trust you too. All right? Now, I may say that's BS, I don't believe you. But again, if you build commonality in there, if you establish something we have in common, you smile, you greeted me, I'll like you. And the more I like you, if I get to know you, like you, and trust you, that's why people buy. They only buy people from they know, they like, and they trust. So they know you. How do you get to know you? By sharing your background, by greeting them. How do they like you? Talk about things in common. By relate to them, relate to the audience. How do they trust you? You trusted them. So share your struggles. Share your struggles. The more you trust the audience by opening up, your darkest moments, the more they will trust you. How many of you felt in the past like a friend told you a secret? Like you thought, oh my God, I can't believe you shared it with me. Then you felt guilty that it's like, oh, later on you want to share something personal to them as well, right? It's like the reciprocity. You share something with me, I can't believe you shared that with me. I feel like I think I'm a secret I want to share back with you as well. It's the same psychology. So when you share something personal to the audience, like you don't even know me, you share that with me, you're like real, then they will trust you as well. Okay, there's all psychology here. Now, if you're speaking after someone's speaking, some of you have doing presentations, group presentations. If you're speaking after someone else is spoken, always edify or add to that person's story. Okay, if you are speaking after someone else, always edify or add to that person's story. Never contradict another speaker. All right? So that's important. Edify is to promote. So, I just shared with you, I was just happy to be on stage here, just be an awesome group, just speak on the same stage with like Donna, someone like that, sponsored 26 people in 11 weeks is incredible. I mean, how many of you got really inspired by hearing Donna's story, how she did it? Right? It's incredible what she's done, her drive, motivation, her strategies. So I was motivated. Everyone just give Donna a hand again. So I'll just give you an example. All right, so if you spoke in front of me. So answer your question? Oh, you love it. Great. Okay, you never contradict another speaker. Don't say, oh, Donald said this, but actually I think this way works better. Okay, so that doesn't work that way. All right, another thing, silence is a best friend. Silence is good. Okay, silence is good. Let silence sink in. Don't just speak, speak, speak. Some of you feel like you always have to be speaking, talking. Sometimes silence is very effective. You let the point sink in. Okay, just like the way I just did right now. So you want to be a good speaker, you can talk very fast, give details, and the main points, you slow down. So you talk fast during details, slow down on main points. Silence also breaks the trance because of the change. And you're keeping people on their toes. You're like baseball players, baseball pitchers. If you just throw fast, 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 sooner or later hitters will hit them. Good pitchers, they can throw fast, then they can throw slow. Then you throw a curveball, a slider, then go fast again. They change things up. Okay, silence is good. Learn to use silence and let things sink in. It's an effective way to get audience attention. All right? Okay, now talk about questions. Don't take questions during presentation. Don't take questions for a presentation. Save them for the follow-up mom, which is like meeting after meeting, or during Q&A session. Why do you don't take questions? Because if you take the questions, it may throw you off. It may ruin your timing or make you finish late. Okay? Questions may ruin your timing, throw you mentally off, or make you finish late. So, for example, some people can ask negative questions. Oh, this is like one of those pyramid schemes that my grandfather did. It doesn't work. Stop doing this meeting. You're scamming people. We should all leave this meeting now. Some people ask these questions. How is this different from what my grandfather did? It didn't work. You just recruit. There's no product sales. Or when you explain your product, oh, these products, they're overpriced. How much do these products cost? Are they overpriced like the other network marketing products? Some people can come up with all type of weird objections and throw you off. So don't take questions. Take them afterwards. Now, if someone asks a question during a Q&A and you can't answer it, here's a good script to use, okay? If you can't answer the question. That's a great question. And I need to check out a few things before I can give you an answer that I'm 100% confident with. Can I get back with you? Can I get back to you? Right? So that's an effective question. Let me just print this out, put it up here for you. If you can't answer the question, that's a great question. And I need to check on a few things before I can give you an answer I'm 100% confident with. Can I get back to you? All right? I just say, like, I'm not 100% confident with it. Let me just confirm a few things and get back to you. Now, I don't like to use the word research. It means, like, I really don't know a clue what I'm doing, right? I just like, hey, I'm not, that's a great question. I just need to check on a few things. So let me check on a few things and get back to you. That sounds better than I don't know. I don't really know the answer. It's just, but let me research. That means you don't know. So I'm not 100% sure. It's a great question. I'm not 100% sure. Let me just check on a few things and get back to you. It sounds better, right? So I'm going to type this up again here. That's a great question, and I'm not 100% sure. Let me check on a few things and get back to you. Okay, that's a great question, and I'm not 100% sure. Let me check on a few things and get back to you. Okay. Now, handouts. If you give handouts, I think this was a question that was asked before, only give them after you have delivered your point. Again, when you are speaking, they should be, every time your mouth is moving, they should be looking at you. So let them listen to what you have to say. Then you give out the handouts. Don't ever give out the handouts on speak, because they're not going to pay attention to you. They're going to be reading the handouts. Now, who can sell better? Who can sell better, whether you're doing training or getting to buy something? Handouts or you? You, right? You can sell better. They're buying you. So make you present, and then you give out the handouts later. Remember the rule. If your mouth is moving, people should be looking and paying attention to only you. Right? If your mouth is moving, they should not be looking at slides. They should not be looking at anything else. They should be looking at you. And then the last point is you always close strong. Always close strong. You have an amazing business, amazing product. You believe that it works and helps people's lives. Always close strong. It's your duty, if you really believe your products and business, to help people get started. Because that's the only way you can help people. If people don't get started, you can't help them. Especially always close strong. Question, what's the best way for closing after showing opportunity? Well, in terms of a group presentation, are you talking about group presentation here, or are you talking about like a one-on-one, Andy, or a webinar? A one-on-one, so you can use closes. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite one-on-one is, okay, so on a webinar, it's hard to close on a webinar, network marketing. You need to set up, because someone introduced a person, right? So if you're doing a webinar, like I shared in the webinar, advanced webinar training, is that you should be watching the webinar together with your prospect. Okay, watching the webinar together with the prospect. If it's, let's say I bring a prospect on and they're in New York and I live in Los Angeles and you're presenting, Andy, out in Sydney, then I will call the person immediately afterwards and do a three-way call upline to close that prospect. All right. Now, one-on-one is you just ask some questions. This is closing. I was like, what did you like best about what you've seen? Are you ready? You ready to get started? What can I do to help you get started? What can I do to help you get started, Andy? Or do you have any questions before I help you get started? Right, you could use this closing questions, what I call a dream close. Dream close. Ready for it? Here's a dream close. Dream close is, what do you like best about the presentation? Blah, 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 blah. Do you see yourself making a lot of money or little money? So a person will say a lot of money. So what's a lot of money? So if I asked you, obey it, what's a lot of money? I can make 1 million a year. Okay, so that's amazing. I mean, I'll ask, what would you do with that million a year? Oh, I will buy a house for my parents. I'll take care of my son. I'll buy blah, 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 blah. Then I asked them, well, at your current job, how long would it take you to earn $1 million a year? And the answer normally is, oh, forever, a whole lifetime. Well, you see, this business is much easier then, right? So let's get you started right now. And you just give out the application, get them to sign up. Okay, close strong. One of the major reasons why people don't become successful is you don't close strong. Now, the question is, what happens if I show the plan? And what if the prospect says, I want to research more? Now, specifically, you're asking a very general question there. If it's showing the pay plan and they want to research more, or is it like, Andy, your question is, when are they asking that question? When are they asking to research more? After the presentation. So I could definitely help you. What specific questions can I help you with? All right. Okay, just because you have no question, just want to research. So normally there's a big objection there, right? They want to research, they're skeptical about something. You want to fish that out. So it's really, I got to think about it. I got to think about it. Close. So it's like, I would say, Andy, absolutely, you want to research it. Because you're serious. That's why you want to research it, correct? And what are you going to say, Andy? You're serious, right? That's why you want to research. That's why you're researching, correct? You say, yes. No, I say, well, just out of curiosity, was it my professional integrity that's making you want to research? Now, what are they going to say? You're going to say, no, it's not, right? You're probably going to feel offended. You probably feel guilty that you offended me. Was it the integrity of the company? So think about the three questions. Number one, if I say, what do you have to research about? The person is defensive. I say, absolutely, you got to think about that. You got to research it, Andy, because the only reason you're researching is because you're serious, right? So he's going to feel good. I believe in him. I agree with him. Now, the second part is like, what do you have to research? Just out of curiosity, is it my integrity? How does he feel? Andy's probably going to feel bad. Oh, he offended me. He insulted me. And he's going to say, no, it's not you. Is it the integrity of the company? No. Is it the quality of the products? He's going to say, no. I keep asking, is it the compensation plan? Is it because it's network marketing? Is it? I want to keep throwing things out at him until finally he says, oh, no, it is this. This is what I'm not sure about. And the real objection will come out. All right? You got that? So if you know, okay, so Andy, you're saying when they research that negative articles come out, they don't answer your call. So you don't let them research it. You can't let them off the hook. So Andy, if you say that, you say every time you let them research, they find something negative, they don't return your call, they don't come back. That means you don't let them off the hook then. Okay? You just go for the close. That's what's closing strong, Linda. You don't let them off the hook. So I can actually say, you know what? Do you want to save time? I ask you, Andy, do you want to save time and money? Do you believe money is time? Do you want to save time? Right? And I know you said you want to make some extra money to support your parents. So this is what you need to do. You need to get started right now. I know there's some things you want to research. That's why we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get started. I'll teach you how to make a check right now. In the next 72 hours, I'll help you make a check. Now, if you don't, you can return the products and then you get a full refund. But what's going to happen is when you go back to research, you're not going to get started. You're not going to make the money. Let me prove it to you works. I'll help you make your first $100. Okay, that's closing strong. So you're not going to let the person off the hook. Like, you're going to let them weasel out. Okay, I never let people off the hook. Okay, now, if you really believe your product and your business help people, you should be aggressive because we're helping people. And some people say, oh, I need to research. Don't worry. Here's a great line, too. Okay, I'm actually really going to things in my sponsoring system here. I cover all the objections. So if you want to research about it, say, you know what, our company solved that problem because a lot of people just like you, they want to make money fast, but they bog down because they want to research, and time is money. So we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You get started. If you don't make money the first 30 days, you return to get a full refund. And you can actually get paid to research. You can get started, and while you're researching, I'll teach you how to make money. Now, do you want to research for free? You want to research while getting paid? All right. So that's, again, you go strong, and it's the confidence. So Andy, if you say you're letting people off the hook, they're not signing up, right? And you can't help people, you're not making money. So you got to close strong. And I think the number one reason you're afraid of rejection, like I said, Andy, you're letting people off the hook. It's actually worse than rejection because you're calling them, they don't return your call. You have to be stronger. People are falling to follow a strong leader. They want to follow people who are strong. They don't want to follow people who are weak. If you're weak, no one wants to join you because you have no guts, right? No, you have no guts. I was going to say something else, but you have no guts. So if you have no guts, then people don't want to follow you. Most people feel comfortable giving you their credit card after presentation? Absolutely. Is that how you ask for it? If you say, well, can I have your credit card? No. You don't, right? Think about it. Have you ever ordered something online or on the phone and people ask for your credit card? Did you give it to them? Right? You give it to them. Have you ever called a customer service giving a credit card? Did that person say, oh, what's going to happen to Jennifer? I'm nervous. Will she trust me to give a credit card? They don't think like that. All these things are all mental up here. If you ask them confidently, hey, what type of credit card do you want to use to make the investment? I'm ready for it right now. Ask them confidently, people give it to them. Because people have ordered online. People have ordered stuff before. Okay, I don't ask for the enrollment form. Hey, what's your credit card? Just if you're filling out a enrollment form, how do you want to make an investment? Just fill this right out. Put your credit. This is the credit card. We take all major credit cards. You just fill it out right there. You say it very confidently. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap this training up? All right. So go back to this. Review this again. These are advanced strategies to reduce nervousness, reduce the tensions, and when you reduce tensions, get involved, get promoted, edified properly. Use stories that captivate the audience, build commonality, get people like you, build trust. Your audience will be interested and they'll remember your presentation. Okay, and then they will sign up or buy whatever product you're offering. So that wraps up this training about advanced strategies, speaking strategies that reduce nervousness and make your audience interested and remember your presentation. Make sure you apply these. Go through again. The biggest part is the pre-preparation prep. Get that done. Once you get those things done, like the mindset, the intro, the practice, the tensions, the presentation becomes a lot easier. All right, that wraps up this training.